Hi, I'm Keith Hughes and welcome to InFocus Snapshot, where we take a look at the stories from the state and our communities that you may have missed. Kingston's infrastructure is in the middle of a major expansion, and we took a trip to the site that's at the center of it all. Residents of Kingston may have noticed an increase in construction around town, and the project making it all possible is currently underway at the Kingston Wastewater Treatment Plant.
The wastewater treatment plant, it basically takes your dirty water leaving your house, and essentially we bring it into the plant, treat it to a point that it's nearly as clean as, say, drinking water.
We're getting a lot of requests from property owners coming to the sewer commissioner meetings asking if there was enough capacity to add an addition with a bedroom or a mother-in-law apartment, or a business asking for additional seats in their restaurants, or to change the use of their business, and we've always had to say no.
The existing plant was basically at its maximum capacity. We couldn't take any new wastewater in from any new developments in town, so it was basically getting to the point that we needed to either not grow the town or build another few tanks to take in more sewage.
The biggest challenge was probably the money, getting the money to do it, getting the grants and the loans.
We were very fortunate to be able to get the support of the Housing and Economic Development Agency from the state perspective and get 2 Mass Works grants totaling $6 million. That, in addition to the state revolving fund loan through DEP, Department of Environmental Affairs, at 2.4%, gave us the opportunity to go to town meeting and ask for support for the project.
The site's small footprint posed an additional challenge as construction equipment started rolling in.
You have trucks coming in with septage on a daily basis, trucks delivering parts for the upgrade, the employees that are coming in to do their work during the day. You might have 25 or 30 people.
With the many people that are coming and going here, it is very challenging to stay out of each other's way.
But the trouble will pay off by granting the town and its residents options that they don't currently have.
Additional flow means increased revenue. Development for anything that may be permitted by the planning board, zoning board, the different boards and committees.
The typical homeowner will have the ability to add an additional bedroom to their 3-bedroom houses now, maybe to add in-law apartments.
Whatever is permitted, we now have the capacity to fulfill those requests.
Residents wishing to do their part in keeping the plant operational can do so by avoiding disposing of flushable wipes in the toilet. While they're called flushable, these wipes can get clogged in the pump stations that send water to the treatment plant, causing costly and time-consuming repairs. The Massachusetts Division of Fisheries and Wildlife has sent applications to seafood processors, commercial fishermen, shellfish farmers, and for-hire recreational vessel owners who are eligible for a total of $23.8 million in relief funds through the Federal CARES Act. The funds will help with the losses over the past year felt by this industry. Applications need to be postmarked by August 28th, and payments are expected to be completed by the end of September. For more information, visit mass.gov and search for the Mass CARES Act Fisheries Relief. The Pembroke Select Board has voted to reform the Public Safety Building Committee, with the goal being to develop a totally sufficient and supported design of one combined police and fire public safety building complex. The plan will be brought before the residents for a vote at town meeting on May 10th of 2022. The committee will be made up of the police chief, fire chief, a representative from the planning board, 2 representatives from the select board, and 3 members from the public. To apply as a resident member, visit pembrokema.gov to fill out a vacancy application and submit it with a letter of interest to the town manager's office. The town of Plymouth was recently awarded $193,000 for safety improvements at 5 vulnerable intersections under the Shared Streets and Spaces grant program. We met up with Plymouth DPW Director Jonathan Beater to get details on the projects.
Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Beater, Director of Public Works. We're here today at the intersection of Warren Ave and Sandwich Street to talk about the grant we received from the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. The town has received $193,000 for 5 intersection upgrades to include a number of different features, most to do with pedestrian safety and access. This particular intersection, we have already done some of the upgrade work. You can see we paved the streets, and we've done the handicap ramp and the new sidewalks and curbing. So this all has come together very well. What remains at this intersection is more audible type devices, where we're going to have audible push buttons for visually impaired folks. And this will continue on at the other locations that we're going to go to today. So that type of work remains. What you can see behind me is the detail on the ramps, where we have the pad detections, we have the slopes and the ADA accessibilities. This is all about pedestrian access, safe routes to school. The locations that the town has chose that we're going to visit today are those areas that we know that needed to be upgraded to make those accommodations. The state was very cooperative to work with the town to make sure we got these monies to make sure that these upgrades are put forward. The other great feature we're looking to implement is cameras. Cameras to control traffic instead of loop detectors. It's a much better technology, much more accurate. It really promotes traffic flow. So overall, this grant is allowing us to increase safety at all of these intersections. We are now at our second intersection. We're at the intersection of Lyden and Main Street, where we have already done a number of improvements, paving, some traffic signal improvements. What we will be doing at this intersection as part of the grant, we will be installing audible devices and replacing our 4 ramps to make sure that we are ADA compliant. Okay, we are at our third intersection today. This is the intersection of Samoset Street and Pilgrim Hill Road. The upgrades that are going to occur at this intersection are a 360-degree camera to control traffic, and that will be a much better improvement as opposed to the loop detectors, because we can manipulate things, remotely, which is a great benefit to us. We're also going to put the audible devices in at the crosswalks, and we are going to be doing repairs. The ramps are a little bit worn in places, so we'll be installing new pads and any other upgrades at each of the ramps at this intersection. So this is our fourth intersection, and we're at the intersection of Cherry and Court Street. So this intersection is a little bit unique when it comes to our grant, but the Shared Streets grant would provide improvements to include ADA ramps, audible push buttons, a 360 camera, and restriping. This may be the last intersection we do these upgrades on, because we have also applied for a grant, and I'm pretty sure at this time we have received notification that we're in a good spot in terms of receiving that grant. That's for $2 million for the full rebuild, the reconstruction of this intersection. When they built CVS years ago, we worked with the developer and the planning board for mitigation. Part of that mitigation was an easement on the property and design money. We're at 50% design. And we're trying to team or segment and coordinate the upgrades with a future construction project. So that is the intersection of Cherry and Court. Okay, I just want to talk about one of the features with our ramps. One of the features is our detectable pads, and these are for the visually impaired, where there's a series of design elements in these pads with the raised buttons and the noise. So those are the differences that the visually impaired have when they approach these intersections. So these are typical for everything we're doing. And one thing we're doing is we're really standardizing all our intersections. So every intersection in town is the same. Same color, same pad, same ramp, same crosswalk style. That's important for a community in terms of pedestrian access and pedestrian use. So we are at our last intersection as part of the Mass DOT grant. This is the intersection of Cherry and Standish Street. This intersection will receive a 360-degree camera, ADA ramps, striping, and then the audible sensors. So that will cover this intersection. In terms of schedule, just to cover all the 5 intersections, we still have some design work to do. Part of it, due to the implementation, we have to do some design and approval through Mass DOT. But once that takes place, the upgrades will commence. So you will see some this construction season, but a majority of it will be done next spring. So that's really an overall time frame. But just in summary, we're very pleased with the grant. This is about connectivity, walkability, pedestrian safety, safe routes to school. All of these intersections have heavy pedestrian use, so this is definitely a great benefit for the town at no cost to the taxpayer. So thank you.
Over this summer, the Arbovirus report from the Department of Public Health has identified West Nile virus positive mosquito samples collected in 8 Massachusetts counties, including Plymouth. The recent warm weather and precipitation are expected to cause an increase in the mosquito population, making it all the more important to take preemptive steps in protecting against the West Nile virus and EEE. You can find helpful tips and links on prevention at mass.gov/dph/mosquito. And updated risk levels can be found on the DPH Arbovirus Daily Update page. Thanks for watching this edition of InFocus Snapshot. I'm Keith Hughes, and we'll see you next time.